Right now, I am burning through my savings in order to take some time off from life. Not really working much these days and just taking a breather. And that was a decision that I came to after finishing a year of working really hard and trying to figure out what was next with my life. And it was a decision that initially I struggled with because it doesn't really make sense to most people. When I tell people right now that I'm not really working and they say, "Oh, well, are you looking for a job?" And then I say, "No," that doesn't really compute. I'm just a lazy millennial that doesn't want to work in life and just relax and do whatever I want. However, that is not the case, and so today's video will be going over a list of things that I made actually back in October of why this decision made sense to me. So the first point is that I worked very, very hard for a year, and for what? It allowed me to move out of my parents' place, which was great, but that whole year was working very, very hard just to pay the bills, just to survive. There goes my notes. I was paying the bills and had no quality of life. The goal for the year was to make it through with my health not being worse off than when I started. So I've had a 10-year journey of concussions and a neck injury and other things, which make it very hard for me to work in general. Work takes a lot out of me. It's a lot for my brain to handle. So that was a very, very challenging year. And yeah, I had no quality of life. It was just doing everything I could to try to take care of myself with my health. And I basically had no free time. And that wasn't ideal. And so yeah, I mean, working really hard is something that I enjoy doing, but I've never really cared about money all that much in the sense that I don't want to be rich. I just want to have quality of life. I want to have a life that I enjoy, that I have some time for my wellness, for my hobbies and interests. So the point of working really hard just to accumulate money is something that I've never wanted to do, and always had trouble with trying to figure out career stuff because I just didn't want a day job that I hated and I had no quality of life. So what's the point in working hard if you have no quality of life? That's not what I want. So the other aspect of that is with my concussion journey, there's been times where I do work and inevitably I do too much because my brain can't really handle that. And then by the end of that, I'm worn out and burnt out and taking steps backward with my health. And so I work really hard and then I have to take off time to recover. And then it takes me months to recover and then I can get back to work. And it's a cycle that will never improve unless I really get my health sorted out. So it makes sense for me right now to once and for all, hopefully get my health to a point where whatever comes next, job-wise, income-wise, it is sustainable for my health. So basically, if I don't deal with my health now, I don't think I will ever have a good chance to deal with it again unless, once again, I'm forced to, which is not good. So this allows me to focus on my health and try to get that in order. Second reason is the idea of risk versus reward. So I'm relatively young at the moment. I kind of have a life ahead of me in terms of career stuff. And I also don't have any dependents or other people that are affected by this choice. If I go all in and waste all of my savings, then that affects me and only me. And a chance to, again, get my health back, just recuperate, figure out what's next. That is I lost my train of thought. It's okay. Here we go. This is part of my journey of being unscripted on YouTube. So, yeah, risk versus reward. So it makes sense right now to take a risk, basically. Worst case scenario, I lose all my money. I go back to working a job, maybe a job that I don't even like, but at least I gave it a shot. And the upside is maybe my whole life could change and go in a much better direction, figure out what I want to do, maybe even create a dream career that I've kind of always wondered about doing. So, the upside is basically infinite, and there's not a whole lot of risk, especially as a millennial, as someone who has no assets. I was saving up for a house at one point. Basically, my savings are useless now anyway in the economy, so I might as well do something with them. And another note on the economy is just like even a normal job, especially with how weird the economy is right now, you don't have job security even in a normal job. So why would I not take time to build into myself? So that leads into point number 3, which is this is literally the best investment I could make. Long-term return on investment, investing in yourself. Again, firstly, with my physical health, which will affect all areas of my life, is I think the best investment anyone can do. And then secondly, just investing in myself as a person, investing in myself skill-wise, whatever's next, career-wise, money-wise, like just building up skills are going to be way more useful than spending time working a menial job that I hate and not learning anything, not growing as a person. So yeah, this is the best investment is my health and well-being, my skills for the future, my growth as a person in who I want to become is the best investment I could possibly make right now. Next is that this is something I've wanted to do for a really long time, and the circumstances have never really been quite right. I've attempted over the years dabbling in creative things and trying to create passive income, trying to figure out something I want to do with my life. And there's been a lot of extenuating circumstances with this whole concussion journey, other seasons of life where it just wasn't feasible. I tried, but it wasn't feasible. And now I can take this opportunity. I have some time, I have some savings, and I can give it a shot. It's something that I want to do, so why would I not at least try? So I'm excited to give that a shot. And even all of the things that I've dabbled in over the years, I've acquired the skills basically necessary to do what I want to do, to try what I want to try. I don't have to go learn all of these things. I've been learning and dabbling over the years, and I have the skill set that I can give this a fair chance. So it makes perfect sense to do that right now. And then that ideally could lead to some passive income, which ties back into my whole concussion journey, work journey. If I have control of my own income, if I can make money while taking certain days off when I'm having a rough day, that will help my life be sustainable. Ideally, I can get my health to a point where, I can work full time, but there's been a lot of ups and downs in this journey. There's been a lot of setbacks, and I have had a little bit of passive income over the years, which has been amazing. When, I can't work literally for an extended period of time and I have, a little bit of money coming in, that makes a huge difference. So this is an opportunity for me to take a chance at creating more of my own income to try to slowly build that and ideally create, the lifestyle that I want for myself, but if not, just more passive income so that whatever's next doesn't have to be a full-time job that takes away from my health and quality of life. And my notes are covered up here. This was my attempt. I wanted to show this to the camera, but the glare doesn't really work, and my marker didn't really work, so yeah, these are my notes for today. I wanted it to be incorporated, but we're trying things out as I go, learning on the job. So, okay, next up we have a faith opportunity. So, this has been a really, really valuable experience for me to just trust God with what's next. That is something that it took me a very, very long time to learn, basically, to trust Him with everything. And now when I'm going all in and I don't have income, and that would normally be a very terrifying thing for me, I like things planned out. I like having a fallback. I like being prepared for things. It's scary and risky for me, especially as a person with my personality and how I operate. And that's allowed me to trust God a lot more and take things one day at a time and really learn to not worry about my future, not needing to have it all figured out, not stress about income. And in doing so, I can use this time to try all these things, to have some time off, and not have this super overwhelming, scary burden of like, oh no, how many more days do I have left with my savings? Like, because you're not in a good state to be able to function if you're just constantly worried and stressed about the future, about the money running out. So this has been a great opportunity to trust God, to take a leap of faith, and just see what happens. So it's been great for my spiritual journey as well. And then lastly, it's just a win-win scenario. It's a no-brainer. And this is something that is so frustrating because it doesn't make sense from the outside. Like, just taking time off to just breathe, to relax, to figure out life. Like, it doesn't make sense to other people. And yet, whatever happens at the end of this period, whenever my savings run out, whatever I decide to do next, even if I make $0, even if I fail miserably at everything I attempt, I will have grown immensely as a person. I will have learned a lot through those failures. I will be better equipped to handle whatever season of life is next. And I will have a chance to focus on my health, to get my quality of life back, and just get back on track. So, yeah, it seems like a no-brainer for me. And I was really excited when I kind of made that discovery a few months ago. And so this was a list of things that I'd written down back at the beginning of October before I kind of gave this whole thing a shot. And 2 months later, a lot has happened, which will be the topic of my next video. It'll be a follow-up to this one, basically going from these things in October that I thought made sense of why I should give this a try and take time off. And now, 2 months later, how amazingly beneficial that has been, how it has changed the trajectory of my life, how I've gotten my health back and myself back, at least for the time being. Something that, it's just been an absolutely amazing 2 months, worth every single penny, even if, I know wow, that was awful. Okay, getting ahead of myself. I still have some savings in the bank, which is great. I don't know exactly what my runway is, but there are some savings there to keep going for a little bit longer. But even if I had spent every single penny that I own on these last couple months, how far I've come, it would be totally, totally worth it. So that is the topic of the next video. Thanks for bearing with me as I do this live and unscripted and just document the journey. So I will see you in the next one.